Hello, guys, and welcome to an XJW experience. Now, I spent the past 3.5 years, maybe a little bit more, just doing my own thing, living my own life. Honestly, I didn't really think I would come back here. I initially wanted to make a lot more videos just talking about the organization itself and exposing the many things that are false about it. But then at one point I realized that the only way for me to move forward was to distance myself from the very thing that caused me a lot of harm. And so I pretty much just said to myself, you know what? For my own sanity, I just need to not do any of this. I need to put Watchtower behind me so that I can find my own happiness. But throughout the years, I didn't spend that much time looking at the new things that were happening in the organization. I really wasn't watching videos from the other channels I was following that were putting out basically, the quote unquote apostate stuff, XJW, whatever you want to call it. Wasn't really looking into it. Saw some thumbnails, basically cover up videos saying things of such nature, such as beards are back. So I was catching glimpses of news here and there. But the thing that drew me back in particular was the fact that there was a title of a video that mentioned that there was a change in the hailstorm prophecy. And so I clicked on this video. I wasn't really paying attention because I was doing some studying while I had it on. So it was basically just background noise for me. But at the same time, I was kind of listening to it. And at that point, I realized that I didn't really understand what was being said. And I was thinking to myself, I was just like, did I really spend that much time away from the organization that I don't even know what they're talking about anymore? So the curiosity killed the cat, and here I am. And I was looking at my channel too, and it was still getting some traction. I thought to myself, like, wow, people are still looking at this channel. They might be interested in hearing other people's story. So, with that being said, kind of a combination of the fact that my word still has power and the fact that there's still some weird stuff going on in that organization, as per usual, I thought to myself, maybe I will come back. And here I am. Fortunately, it got me, dragged me back, just as intended. My destiny is with this crazy cult, and it will never end, or so it seems. So here I am. And the fundamental changes that piqued my interest doesn't stop there. So I knew about the beards, and then we got the weird hailstorm stuff. And apparently, there are some new rules about women in the Kingdom Hall. They're allowed to not have to wear skirts, they can wear pants now. Apparently, that's a thing. Another thing that I heard was about some new changes to shunning. So, all the things I'm mentioning to you that I heard about, I don't know the details about it. These are just things that caught my attention. So do not quote me on them. I saw a thing about the beards, but then at the same time, there are videos of the governing body having a beard. There's video of Bethelites having a beard. So they're basically saying to the other members that it's totally fine if you have a beard. It's not one of those things where it's okay, but you shouldn't do it. Every single guy can have a beard if they want. It's kind of just trying to validate the other members to have it. I wonder if it's one of those things where one of the governing body members wanted to have a beard, and so they just told everyone else it's fine to have a beard. Just this grand conspiracy, just throwing this out there. Possibly. Also, there's a thing about the Great Tribulation. So this one is the weirdest one. I actually watched a video a long time ago. So this is like one of the videos that I watched even during my leaving of this, that it just caught my attention so much that I watched the video. So this was basically in a nutshell, like when the Great Tribulation happens, you can change your mind at that moment. So they're saying, well, people who aren't actually faithful can still have their minds change even during the Great Tribulation. So God's not going to say it's too late. He's actually going to say, if you actually change your mind and you see that things are bad, you will not be judged at that moment. And the most ridiculous part about that is I just don't understand how you could work so hard. Couldn't you just be such a disingenuous person to just be a complete degenerate, just indulging in the worst kind of behavior, just doing whatever the heck you want? And then once the Great Tribulation happens, you could just be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I truly, truly am sorry. I thought I could just do whatever I wanted because nothing was real. None of this stuff was real. But now that I see that this is the end, I feel as though I don't want to die. I truly repent. I see the signs. I know what the signs mean. Couldn't you be doing something like that? That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't understand how everyone else has to suffer and they're expected to do all these things when they could just live their own life, have their own freedoms, and then come back whenever they see the signs that the Great Tribulation is going to happen. So it's so weird how they have that rule. It's almost like them saying that if there are people that they know, perhaps it could be their family members who aren't AJW, they're basically trying to make them say that, hey, you don't have to feel bad about not converting them because at the end of the day, they still have the opportunity to come with you and live forever. Because as soon as you see the signs, you could tell them, hey, this is the exact sign that I told you about. And that will freak them out and make them feel as though they have to follow you and you were right all along. That's basically what it seems like it's a cover up for. But the people who have grinded so hard must have been so pissed off when they heard about this. They're just like, man, I put in so many years. Like I was a pioneer for 20 years. And now you're telling me that this guy who's been enjoying his life for all these years, he doesn't have to do any of that. He can just change his mind. That's the kind of reaction I would have, honestly. What are the hours for pioneering? I heard like decades ago the hours for pioneering was like 100 months per hour. When I was in the Borg, what am I saying Borg? Whatever. Feels nice saying Borg. Let's just call it Borg. When I was in the Borg, it was 70 hours for pioneer and 50 hours for auxiliary pioneer, and then they had that special month, whatever campaign months, and CO visits, I believe, were the special drop to 30 hours. I'm pretty sure I heard something about the hours for pioneering being dropped again or something like that. I don't even know if that's true. Probably is true. I wouldn't be surprised. There's just so many things that change within this organization on a daily basis. Still calling it organization. Why do I say that? Because I am just so lost in the sauce when it comes to this. See, this is what happens when you leave for such a long time. You're just so out of it. You don't even know anything, and you have this kind of viewpoint as an outsider. And so y- basically what I'm trying to say is after I left for all these years, all the anger and just like the indignation that I had, it just dissipated. So I don't have that anger, that burning anger that I used to have, and just this pure vitriol towards this cult anymore. That's all basically just died from my heart, my mind, my soul. I just look at this as something that's just stupid. And so that's probably why I'm just like, oh, don't even care. Call it an organization, whatever. It's a cult, whatever, man. But for the sake of you guys, I will try to call it as it is. It is a cult. It is the worst thing ever. Causes so much pain. It has a stupid shunning rule that they will never, ever, ever change because it's their key mechanism in order to control people. People don't even want to leave. I was advised not to formally leave and just to fade. Imagine that. You have elders telling you, oh, you should just fade if you're not even going to go to the meetings and you don't believe this stuff. That's just crazy talk, man. You should be able to just walk out whenever you want. There shouldn't be a thing as you being psychologically manipulated into staying into a religion if it is truly just a religion. That's not how it should work. So it's very strange. The shunning thing's never gonna change. There's just been so many weird things that has changed just in the very short span of time, and we are going to uncover all those things. I look forward to sharing those details with you. Perhaps you want to stick around for my perspective. That is what I'm about to do. And for those who are watching this, perhaps you're returning, perhaps you're new, I thank you so much for coming here, and I hope you enjoyed this XJW experience. Take care.